We're pleased to announce Jasmine stood in the laundry room, her hands trembling slightly around the cream-colored envelope. Her eyes had just reached the words "full tuition" when Monica snatched the letter from her hand. Before Jasmine could understand what was happening, the opportunity she had waited years for was torn into pieces in front of her co-workers. "I only asked to leave my shift a few hours early so I could attend the announcement ceremony today," Jasmine said. Monica looked her up and down in her housekeeping uniform. A room attendant does not become a manager because of a piece of paper. She tore the letter again. A piece bearing purple handwriting fell near Jasmine's shoe. Jasmine bent down, but Monica pushed it into the trash with her foot. "Return to the 18th floor. You can call the foundation's telephone number to verify it." That was Monica's opportunity to stop. Instead, she folded her arms. The number could also belong to a scam. Rosa stepped forward slightly. "The envelope has an embossed seal. I have seen that symbol on the scholarship display." "Anyone who continues causing a disruption will lose their weekend shifts," Monica replied. No one said anything else. Jasmine looked at the pieces of paper inside the trash, then turned away. Her wages were paying the rent, her evening tuition, and Marcus's health insurance. She could not risk everything without complete evidence. On the 18th floor, Jasmine continued cleaning rooms as though nothing had just been destroyed. Inside a room where the guest had already checked out, she found a leather wallet beneath a pillow. It contained enough money to cover 1 month of rent. Jasmine did not count it twice. She placed the wallet inside a sealed bag, recorded the time, and delivered it directly to security. In the next room, Rosa received a call informing her that her daughter had fallen at school. Her face turned pale when she looked at the remaining room assignments. "You should go," Jasmine said. "I will take your 4 rooms." "But you have class tonight." "Your daughter needs her mother." Jasmine knew that cleaning those 4 rooms could make her miss the train to school, but she signed for the additional work anyway. During her short break, she opened her study notebook. A draft essay titled "The Rooms No One Sees" rested between notes about budgeting and operations. Jasmine did not write about being rescued from poverty. She proposed transparent overtime records, training pathways for frontline employees, fewer injuries through reasonable room assignments, and management evaluations based on employee retention instead of cost alone. Her phone displayed a video call from the small apartment she shared with her brother. "Have the scholarship results arrived?" Marcus asked. Jasmine closed the notebook. "There has been no news." The teenager studied her for a moment, then said he had applied for a summer job so Jasmine could reduce one of her shifts. "No," she replied, her eyes beginning to burn. "Your responsibility is to stay in school. I returned to school so both of us could have a better future, not so you would give up yours." When Jasmine returned to work, Rosa secretly went back to the laundry room. She removed the pieces of the letter from the trash and placed them inside a clean plastic bag. The remaining fragments showed the code ED-25-117, part of the seal, and the purple signature. Eleanor D. At the same time, Daniel Reed arrived at the hotel to prepare for the scholarship ceremony. He asked Monica whether any employees in her department were participating in the training program. "No one in my department is stable enough to justify the investment," Monica replied. Daniel frowned. The Grand Davenport employed more than 140 frontline workers, yet reports from the previous 2 years claimed that there had not been a single qualified applicant. In the hallway, Jasmine passed by carrying a stack of towels so high that she could barely see over it. A wheel on a new employee's cart became trapped in a gap in the floor. Although Jasmine had already worked beyond her scheduled time, she put down the towels and showed him how to lift the lock and turn the wheel without injuring his back. Monica watched from a distance. Several minutes later, Jasmine discovered a final warning in her employee record. It accused her of leaving her assigned position without permission while reading the letter in the laundry room. "I do not agree with this statement." Monica placed a pen in front of her. "You may refuse to sign, but if you are terminated, your health insurance will also end." Jasmine thought about Marcus and signed her name, her hand feeling as heavy as stone. Rosa pulled Jasmine aside and handed her the plastic bag. "Take this to Mr. Daniel. We can still prove what happened." Jasmine looked at the other members of their shift. What if Monica retaliates against the entire team? That moment of hesitation gave Monica enough time to notice the bag. "Give that to me," she ordered. "Those are internal documents." Rosa held it tightly. "No, they belong to Jasmine." Monica had another opportunity to correct her mistake, but she chose to escalate the situation. "If both of you continue refusing instructions, you will both be suspended." She turned toward Jasmine. "Your employment ends immediately. Empty your locker before the scholarship ceremony begins." In the basement, Jasmine removed her name tag from her uniform and folded her clothes into a paper bag. In the grand lobby above, a line of vehicles had just arrived. Eleanor Davenport entered with representatives from the foundation and members of the media. Andrew hurried forward to welcome her. "The stage is ready, Mrs. Davenport." Eleanor did not look toward the stage. "Where is Jasmine Carter? I came here to personally present the scholarship I selected her to receive." Monica's face turned pale, but she still stepped forward. "Mrs. Davenport, I am afraid Jasmine Carter was just dismissed for falsifying documents." Eleanor did not look toward the reporters raising their cameras. She kept her eyes on Monica. "What evidence did you use to conclude that the letter was fake?" "She used the foundation's name as an excuse to abandon her shift," Monica replied. "I only applied the necessary disciplinary action." Eleanor opened her leather briefcase and removed a copy of the scholarship letter. At the top of the page was the code ED-25-117. At the bottom was a signature written in purple ink. "That letter was not fake. I signed it myself." Monica's expression became rigid. She quickly changed her tone, claiming that she had only wanted to protect the hotel from fraud. She suggested resolving the matter privately so the ceremony would not be disrupted. Eleanor did not humiliate her in front of the crowd. "Mr. Andrew, bring Jasmine here." Every disciplinary decision must be suspended until Mr. Daniel reviews the records. Andrew called the housekeeping department. Monica interrupted him. "Jasmine has already left the hotel." At the far end of the grand lobby, Rosa heard every word. She knew it was a lie, because Jasmine's employee card was still inside her locker. Fear of losing her shifts kept Rosa frozen for several seconds. But when she looked at the co-workers standing behind her, she stepped forward. "Jasmine has not left." She placed the plastic bag containing the torn pieces of the letter on the table. Eleanor needed only one look at the seal, the paper, and the purple ink to recognize the foundation's document. She placed her copy beside the torn pieces. The file code, the words "full tuition," and every handwritten mark matched perfectly. There was no longer any basis for accusing Jasmine of forgery. Monica pointed toward Rosa. "She removed those papers from the trash and created this story to retaliate against management." Daniel intervened immediately. He ordered the preservation of the mailroom and hallway security footage, access card records, Jasmine's disciplinary file, the editing history of employee hours, and every training application submitted during the previous 2 years. No data may be deleted, changed, or moved from this moment forward. The access card system confirmed that Jasmine had not left the hotel. She was inside the basement changing room, exactly where Monica had ordered her to clear out her belongings. At that moment, Marcus arrived after school carrying documents Jasmine had forgotten at home. When security told him that his sister had just been fired, he called her, but her phone did not ring. Daniel met Marcus in the hallway and noticed a copy of Jasmine's essay among the papers. The figures involving working hours, injuries, and employee turnover matched irregularities he had previously noticed in the staffing reports. Marcus held the documents tightly when he realized that his sister had hidden both her hope and her humiliation, so he would not have to worry. Eleanor and Daniel went down to the basement. Jasmine was folding her uniform into a paper bag. Her name tag rested on the chair. "My name is Eleanor Davenport," Eleanor said. Jasmine froze, but she did not ask about the scholarship. "Will Rosa and the people who helped me be punished?" Eleanor studied her for a long moment. "Every related disciplinary decision will be suspended. And I owe you an apology. I created this program to open doors for employees, but I allowed the applications to pass through the very people who had the power to close them." Jasmine was brought upstairs to the grand lobby. In front of the employees, executives, and media, Eleanor confirmed that she was the rightful scholarship recipient. "Jasmine was not selected because of her family circumstances," Eleanor said. "Her plan could reduce employee turnover, workplace injuries, and recruitment costs across the entire hotel system. This scholarship recognizes ability." Monica continued objecting. "She used internal information without authorization." Jasmine kept her voice calm. "The figures came from work schedules and pay statements voluntarily provided by the employees involved." Eleanor turned toward Monica. "You may withdraw the accusation, restore Jasmine's employment, and cooperate with an independent audit." It was Monica's third opportunity to stop. She still refused. "Dissatisfied employees are working together to destroy my department's performance record." Jasmine did not demand that Monica be fired. "Please ask the other employees where their training applications went." Rosa raised her hand first. Then more hands slowly appeared. One employee had applied for maintenance training. Another wanted to study baking. Someone else had registered for a shift supervision course. None of them had ever received a response. Jasmine looked at the raised hands and realized that this was no longer a fight to recover only her own letter. It was an opportunity to uncover the futures that had been hidden from an entire workforce. Daniel opened the training system on the stage screen. The Grand Davenport report stated, "No qualified applicants." But the corporate server showed that 28 application codes had been created at the hotel and then closed through the same management account. Whispers spread across the grand lobby. Monica claimed it could have been a system error, but Daniel opened the payroll records next. The same account had modified 214 records involving hours worked outside the official schedule. "This was not a random error," he said. The complete access history appeared on the screen one line at a time. The time of each change, the number of hours removed, and the account that completed the action. The name Monica Hale appeared repeatedly beside 28 closed training applications and 214 payroll changes. But the final column made Daniel fall silent. Every modification had been confirmed using an approval code assigned to the office of the general manager. The attention in the grand lobby shifted from Monica to Andrew. He stood beside the stage, and his expression was no longer calm. Eleanor looked directly at him. "Did you ignore what was happening, or did you help her hide it?" Eleanor temporarily stopped the ceremony. The employees and members of the media remained in the grand lobby, while the investigation moved into a conference room so no one would be judged through emotion alone. Andrew denied helping Monica alter the payroll records. The approval code from the general manager's office is automatically attached to adjustments submitted by department heads. Daniel reviewed the procedure. "That is only partly true. You did not personally change every record, but the system sent warnings directly to you." The screen displayed 5 complaint emails and 2 exit interviews Andrew had received. He had forwarded all of them to Monica and marked them as resolved without conducting any investigation. Andrew admitted that he had trusted Monica because her department reported low costs and a high percentage of rooms cleaned on time. He knew employees had complained, but he dismissed their concerns as resistance to strict discipline. Eleanor asked him, "If attractive numbers make you stop seeing the people behind them, are you managing a hotel, or are you only managing a spreadsheet?" With a legal representative present, Daniel examined Monica's computer. One folder contained training applications that had never been submitted, original timesheets, a list of employees considered likely to cause trouble, a projected bonus of $24,000, and messages pressuring workers to sign documents accepting reduced hours. Rosa provided copies of the actual work schedules. The figures matched the notebook Jasmine had used while writing her essay. Eleanor returned to the grand lobby. She placed the torn pieces Rosa had recovered beside the complete copy from the foundation and confirmed that Jasmine was the rightful scholarship recipient. Eleanor had personally signed the letter. Monica had torn it apart to deliberately prevent an employee from receiving an educational opportunity. Daniel presented the foundation's copy, security footage showing Monica destroying the letter, 28 blocked training applications, 214 altered time records, the warnings Andrew had ignored, and the documents involving Monica's bonus. Faced with the complete chain of evidence, Monica finally admitted that she had changed working hours and blocked training applications. "The hotel is always understaffed. The budget is unrealistic. I had to do it to keep the department operating." Jasmine did not deny the pressure Monica had faced. "You worked inside a difficult system, but you chose to protect your bonus with the wages and futures of people who had no power to fight back." In front of the employees and the media, Eleanor announced that Jasmine's job and scholarship were restored. Every disciplinary action against Jasmine and Rosa was canceled. Monica was suspended, and Andrew was temporarily removed from operational authority. 2 years of payroll records would undergo an independent audit. Employees would be protected from retaliation, and training applications would move to a direct registration portal that did not require initial approval from a manager. When Jasmine was invited to speak, she did not ask for a management position. "I do not need to be placed in a role before I have completed the preparation required for it. I only need the door to remain open long enough for me to earn the opportunity to walk through it." The investigation determined that Monica had altered payroll records, retaliated against employees, and destroyed official documents. Her employment was terminated, and she lost the $24,000 bonus. The hotel repaid approximately $93,600 in missing wages and penalties to affected employees. There was no evidence that Andrew had directly taken anyone's wages, but he had received repeated warnings and failed to act. His pattern of indifference made him unfit to continue leading the hotel. Andrew accepted responsibility, resigned as general manager, and lost his annual bonus. Eleanor did not present herself as the person who had rescued Jasmine. She admitted that the scholarship program had been designed incorrectly because local managers controlled whether applications ever reached the foundation. Following Jasmine's recommendations, the hotel chain established an independent scholarship portal, a system allowing employees to confirm their recorded hours, a council seat for frontline workers, and financial assistance for students caring for family members. Managers would now be evaluated according to costs, workplace injuries, and employee retention. 6 months later, Jasmine continued working part-time while attending school. She was not immediately appointed as a manager. Instead, she rotated through the front desk, reservations, finance, and hotel operations as part of a structured internship. Rosa received repayment for her missing overtime, became the employee representative on the training committee, and registered again for the baking course that had previously been blocked. Inside their new apartment, Marcus looked at the restored scholarship letter displayed inside a glass frame. Jasmine had preserved the torn edges instead of replacing the letter with a perfect copy. "Why did you not hide the damage?" he asked. "Because it reminds me that some things are destroyed, not so we will hide what happened, but so we will remember why they must be protected." 18 months later, Jasmine completed her program and qualified to become a management trainee. On her first day, she wore a professional suit, but kept her old housekeeping employee badge inside her pocket. A young employee asked to change shifts so she could attend a class. Jasmine did not promise special treatment. She reviewed the schedule, found a reasonable replacement, and approved the request under the new policy. Eleanor watched from a distance without interfering. Jasmine did not need someone to protect her for the rest of her life. She needed a fair system that allowed her to prove her own ability. The letter that had once been torn apart did not give Jasmine a shortcut to success. It only reopened a door that should never have been closed in front of her. A fair opportunity does not guarantee that everyone will succeed. It guarantees that no one is denied the right to try simply because of the uniform they wear. If you were Rosa and you knew that speaking up could cost you your job, would you have dared to recover the torn pieces of the letter? Share your thoughts in the comments and stay with Stewart Stories, where we tell stories of love, hope, and justice.